So I guess we've got a couple of options.
Yeah.
We could talk.
Yeah.
Or just make out.
Make out. On camera.
Sell it on OnlyFans.
I don't think it'll buy making out. I think they want more.
What? No, obviously it'll lead to something more.
Yeah, gross.
Can make loads of money. Pay off our mortgage. Is that woman in...
Did you make lots of money from
Yeah,
OnlyFans?
woman in America who was in The Sopranos. She literally was
she's
like...
in The Sopranos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
She's got the famousness about her.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe we need
Not
to be like
regular
actors
Joes.
first.
Yeah.
Have a whole Hollywood career and then do OnlyFans.
You'd be on the way down though. I feel like if you were going to do OnlyFans, you would have made it high at something and then you'd be on your way down to kind of resort to that.
Yeah, that's true. Also, it's a long way round.
Yeah.
Just to then like have sex on camera.
Yeah, that's true.
So we decided we're not going to do that. So we're going to talk and have a podcast instead. We hashed it out. We got there eventually. So you work in the NHS?
I do, yes.
In the midwifery department. What's the NHS? Because you've got listeners all over the world now. Japan.
Okay.
We were just one person, but still listeners around the world. What is the NHS?
The National Healthcare System.
Because a lot of places don't have them now.
No. So they are government, your national insurance that you pay is meant to go towards the NHS, but obviously it costs a lot more than your national insurance contributions. And basically you can access healthcare for free. Including maternity care, which is where I work. I work in maternity.
Yeah, and you work at a high dependency unit, right? Lots of people coming in with...
It has got a high dependency part to it, yes, but it's a labour ward.
Right.
Is where
Is that what you call it then, high dependency? Is that more like A&E?
No, we have a high dependency area, but labour ward, and then we have a high dependency. High dependency is where you go if you have a particularly high risk birth,
right?
Whereas labour ward could just mean you coming in and you are slightly high risk, or there's a reason that you need continuous monitoring, which you can't have on a low risk birth centre because you have intermittent monitoring.
There's so many terms. I'm still we've been together how long, and I'm still getting used to all the terms.
Yeah.
So how long have you been a midwife now? 5 years, 6 years?
8 years.
8 years, bloody hell.
Yeah, 8 years.
So Rochana trained as a nurse first.
Yeah.
And then now as a midwife.
8 years.
Do you think that makes you a better midwife, doing the nursing first?
It definitely helped. I don't know if better is the word, but it helped when I started off working as a midwife, because I already knew how to give drugs. I already knew all patient care, all that kind of stuff, and interacting with people on a daily basis I was already very familiar with. And when people got sick, I knew how to handle it, because obviously in nursing we have a lot of sick people. So it definitely helped me. But obviously I had never watched a woman give birth before or looked after
Tell the story about where
babies.
you first saw someone give birth, though, or you first thought about midwifery, because that's a cool story.
When I thought, I was away from Max, actually. I was traveling, working in the pool, volunteering, working in a hospital in the pool. And I'd spent a whole day looking at lungs that had TB in them and kind of depicting which lungs were TB and which lungs weren't. And was thinking, no, maybe I don't want to be an infectious disease nurse. This is really, really boring. Mm-hmm. And a woman came in screaming, and I was like, what's wrong with her? And
she's mental.
They were like, no, she's having a baby. And they grabbed me and were like, come, you come with us. And I'm like, no, we don't do that in the UK. We are either a nurse or a midwife. We don't just she's like, oh, in the pool, we go between the two.
Right.
And then I went in and she delivered this beautiful baby girl, and I was like, oh, this is the most amazing girl I've ever seen. And then I spent the whole rest of my trip thinking about what I wanted to do when I went home, because it really sparked something. And then I came home, applied to be a midwife, and got accepted and started my training. And
what effect that's had on your life as well. If you'd not had that woman saying, if you just lived by the rules and been like, nah, we don't do that, then you would have just never have had that experience.
Yeah.
Just kind of letting go and just being like, no, I'm going to do this.
It's crazy the first birth you see, though. It's crazy. You've only seen one birth, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, do you not class cesarean as a birth?
No, you do. That's true. Okay, you've seen two
Technically,
births.
I've seen.
Would you still? The birth of 3 children.
Is that 3? Yeah, is that 3 births, or was it 2 births? Because
Ooh, I don't know.
so not everyone knows, but we had twins. So we had twins in lockdown, which has come up a few times, which is hilarious on this podcast because it's obviously had its challenges. Lockdown, obviously being the COVID, but that was cesarean. But would you class that as
That is a birth, yeah.
2 births?
It's just a different type
One
of birth.
birth. Technically, is
twins.
it like a double birth or is it 1 birth?
I say it was one birth, but it birthed there was
babies.
2 babies.
And there was obviously quite quick succession. Obviously, they normally have a gap, don't they?
Yeah.
Sometimes they can have a gap,
Because I only had one cesarean section for both children. I didn't have. I think that's when it would be.
which I watched. I could see it in the light.
Yeah, weirdo. I loved it.
I like that kind of stuff. Turns me on.
Likes
No, I'm joking,
blood.
really. Blood and gore.
Yeah,
So, yeah, I've seen 2 births.
2 births.
2 births. Obviously, with Ezra, the second time was a lot more as we imagined,
Yes.
as we kind of hoped for.
As we'd
Planned for.
sometimes you have a birth plan and it doesn't go to plan, but with Ezra our birth plan actually went to plan.
Really
Whereas
quick.
the first time it did not go to plan.
No. We were there for 6 days
Yeah.
trying to get the boys out, but they were not having any of it.
No.
And obviously having 2 is always, everyone's a bit more on edge. So it's this kind of air of, because obviously NCT and everything talks about oxytocin, try and make you feel relaxed, try and like feel like you're not in a hospital, try and make you feel like you're at home. But then having twins, everyone's just kind of a bit like, ooh.
Yeah, everyone panics.
Yeah, and you immediately feel the kind of more anxiety from people coming in. And I guess that in midwifery, there are probably more people who are specialist in or have more experience in singletons than twins, right? Because it's not that common.
It's getting more and more common.
Right.
I think people are absolutely fine with cesarean sections of twins.
Right.
Because that generally is what people have more of. I think people panic a little bit more when it comes to having vaginal birth and twins.
Do you think if you'd been more bullshit?
Particularly if you are deciding to be outside guidelines or something with twins. Because twins, if you want to have a vaginal birth, is very labour ward, continuous monitoring, epidural, very, 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 very like...
To the mark.
You're in a high risk environment.
Right.
Whereas people who... Like I have a midwife friend who had twins and she birthed outside the guidelines and she had a home birth with no monitoring and
That sounds mental.
Well, I mean, I guess that's what she wanted, and in the end, the plan changed because things change, and that's the same with labour and birth. But at least she felt like she got part of the birth that she wanted.
Yeah,
And I
referring
think-
what I say, that just sounds mental in the sense of I felt the energy from and how much they were on us from us having twins. That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean in terms of. I think it's very impressive that she did that.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like even with the knowledge that they were feeling stressed
On
about
our
delivering
ass.
our babies. Yeah.
Yeah, even
they
you
were
have to be
stressing
in-
me out.
Well, yeah, because I heard. Was it someone say on that podcast, or was it that thing you were listening to? There was either a podcast or like a book you were listening to about. They made me come in at this time. It's like, what did they actually grab you and physically drag you there? So what do you mean they made you? Like you do still have autonomy when you're having that birth, and I think I definitely felt lots more autonomy with the second one, with Ezra,
Yeah.
being a singleton rather than.
I think I was quite worried though, because as a midwife, I'd only seen like bad vaginal delivery of twins.
Yeah.
So I think I was really finding it hard to switch off my brain and like believe that would happen. And because obviously I hadn't gone into labour naturally and then it was being induced, the risk of us having a C-section was so high anyway. So I think in hindsight, actually, probably just going straight for section would have been easier. Or I should have just... Probably what I would have done in hindsight was just waited a bit longer. But then Reuben was small, and
He's
we
so
didn't
much smaller than
know
Samson.
that. So that could have been, who knows? Who knows?
Did it not really come up on the scans how much smaller he was?
No, from one scan he was the same, pretty much the same size as Samson, and then he came 2 weeks later, and he was substantially smaller than Samson.
Yeah, because he was so much smaller that when Samson came out, everyone went, "Whoa!" like that. He was so
They
little.
absolutely love that story.
Yeah, they do.
They tell everyone.
And he was so angry and
then,
hungry when he came
yeah,
out.
and then Reuben caught up, and he's like, "Yeah, but I caught up on the outside, so it's fine."
Yeah. Our kids don't really sound like that. Kind of, they sound a lot more.
They sound very London. Very
Oh,
London.
yeah, London. Born in Mitcham.
Gills. Oh, about the gills. Yeah.
Sound like little Cockney geezers.
Raised in Mitcham. Cockney boys.
Cockney lads.
South London boys.
Yeah.
I wonder what Ezra will sound like.
Oh, hello, darling.
But it's not
Nice
like
to meet you.
It's quite South London sounding.
Yeah,
down
my
here
mum
as
said
well.
that. To be fair, when she's down, like Worthing, we're in Worthing, and that is quite like a mix of almost similar to Kent, that kind of sound,
Yeah.
and then a bit of the kind of well-to-do as well. So you get a big mix.
Yeah. I think
Because Brighton's a bit like that as well.
South London-y. That sounds quite South London-y.
Safe.
Safe.
What? You.
Right, how many accents can you do?
How many accidents?
Accents.
You know I'm terrible at accents, don't even ask. I mean, you're not much better.
Your accent's terrible. You can do like 3 and they all kind of
I can only do the ones that I can.
They blend into like the same. He tries to do a South Walian accent because that's where my
Even
dad's
what
from.
South Walian, what does that mean? South Wales?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because not people know what South Walian means.
Okay, from people from
Sounds like
South,
a whale,
South
a
Walians,
whale from the south.
South Walians are people from South Wales.
I like that. No, I can't do it because I start to sound a little bit racist, so I'm not going to do it. I can't do any accents, which is weird because musicians generally
Or terrible accents.
they should have a good ear,
Oh, okay.
like a good ear for like copying stuff. But obviously, I don't have that.
Not with accents, no.
No, I'm terrible.
You can do it with a saxophone and a keyboard and probably drums.
Yeah, but even then, I always find that hard.
Really?
I think it relates. I think it relates to like copying this exact sound. I had mates who could do it like almost like sounded like two people. It sounded like one person was playing.
So they could hear a little robin and go, and then do that.
I think it's more like musical passages. So they could play like, for example, they could play like Keith Jarrett or play like Bill Evans, and they could sound exactly like that. Like almost sounds like one person playing.
Okay, pick someone I know.
John Legend.
Yeah, I kind of know.
Or they could play like, I don't know, any good, who do you know piano players? Or saxophone players?
Elton John.
Yeah. So they could like play, he's got a certain style on the way he plays it. And they could sing or play in that style. Yeah. And it sounds like
Nina
one thing.
Simone.
I mean, that's hard to replicate.
Yeah.
Because she's so individual.
She's so individual.
I think some people are very good at sounding like other people. And I think some people just have their own standout style that it's just like, whoa. Like, I think certain musicians have different skills. I think I was always like, I quite liked having the own sound that I wanted, and that's how I wanted to sound. Whereas like sounding like someone else, I find it quite hard. But yeah, not many accents. I'd probably say Derby, which is where I'm from, and then maybe like London. That's about it. How many can you do then? You're Australian?
You can do Australian okay.
Yeah. My mate John's really good at them.
South Walian.
He can do lots.
I'm not going to do them though, so don't ask me.
No, I wasn't going to. You asked it. So NHS, you work, in the labour ward. Mm-hmm. It must be quite a fascinating job to work in. Fascinating, and also you must have so many emotions attached to it because the most beautiful parts, can be the most terrifying and also sad parts of people's lives.
Well, I think it's you get such highs and lows in my job.
Right, just like saxophone playing.
When you play badly.
Yeah. When I mess up a scale.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same stakes, really, right? Like if I play a scale wrong, then there could be a death.
I mean, it's not, and you know it's not, and we argue about this all the time. My job is definitely harder than your job.
I don't know. Have you tried to play Sweet Caroline? It's hard. Tell me about the highs and lows then.
Oh, it's absolutely high. It's like you have like an incredible birth and like a really happy family and like a really amazing outcome. And then next door you have a baby woman that's got a stillbirth and a family that's not going home with a baby. And that can all, then you can all happen in one shift. And then you can have a woman that loses a lot of blood. And then you can have like, it just can all be kind of all kicking off sometimes all in one go. And my role when I am the boss is to like coordinate and make sure everyone is having care safely and that we are kind of getting through the shift as humans as well, because midwives have needs. So when it's busy, like, it's important that your staff manage to have a break, manage to have some water, manage to eat, manage to cry if they've had a baby that's died, manage to kind of decompress if they've had a really traumatic birth. But like, this all has to happen in a safe way, and it's really important that, you know, everyone's looked after. Doctors as well as included as part of like making sure they're okay as well. So it is a beautiful job with massive highs and massive lows, I think. And I don't think I could do anything else. I think I'd struggle to do anything else. I think I couldn't do a job where I had to just sit in an office day after day doing the same thing on repeat. I think that would actually, I'd go mad. I just don't think I could do it. I like that. I don't know what's going to come through the door. It could be something.
There's also something to be said for like the energy that you get from groups of women working together. I think that has an impact. Like, I don't know, there's a feeling on the labour ward when you're there, like just women working together. I think there's a different energy.
It's mostly NHS.
Yeah, because all the doctors, what percentage of doctors now are women?
I don't know, but it's a lot more women than male doctors.
Right.
I don't know the percentage. But you could look at the statistics of medical school entry. But yeah, a lot more women are female doctors than there are.
Because just likewise, I get you probably get a different energy when it's lots of men working in certain professions.
There's not many male midwives.
No. What do you call it? Mid-husbands?
No, they're still midwives.
Oh, right. You get a special name.
No, but there's not many. So it is.
Because do you think you've developed tools to deal with the stress of that? Or do you think that it helps having other people there and people that you trust? Where do you think you've got the tools from?
What to deal with my job? I think you do become desensitized as time goes on. I think you become more resilient at, not that stuff doesn't affect you, but they've done studies on it where like if you're exposed to the same thing on repeat, you get less, it has this less effect from the first moment you saw it, and you get desensitized as time goes on. But then that means that I can do my job more effectively in like an emergency. Say like the first time I saw a woman bleed as a student, I stood there frozen, like I don't know what I'm doing. Now I see a woman bleed, I'm like, right, I know what I'm doing it effectively, I'm doing it quickly. So you need a bit of that. Otherwise, if you just stopped and were scared and froze, which I've seen students do, and I've even seen doctors do, because you just feel a bit overwhelmed, and especially if you've had a traumatic birth, it can bring back the birth that you've seen. Yeah, so I think, I don't know. And everyone has times when they're really struggling. So even though you have been fine beforehand, you might have gone off and had your own baby, and when you come back to work, it could be triggering for certain memories. Yeah, definitely.
And also, different people will deal with stress in different ways, or find certain things stress more triggering.
And it's not just stress; it's like trauma that people have. Like, it's a known thing now. It used to not be recognised at all, but it's a known thing that yes, women have birth trauma, but also healthcare professionals have post-traumatic stress and trauma from traumatic births as well.
Yeah.
And recognising that in our colleagues when it happens. Yeah,
because you're saying that, I remember the first time that you kind of had the death of a child when you were working.
Yeah.
And I remember that like being like a big thing and a big memory, and I think that was one of the first times, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was quite newly qualified when I had my first baby. Yeah.
And I remember that being like, and I guess that was probably one of the first times.
Yeah, it was.
And then it being like a big thing from there.
Yeah, that stayed with me that'll stay with me for life.
Yeah, those scenes and those memories.
Yeah. I'm going for a very light podcast here, guys.
Death. No, it's good to talk about. I think it's good because those tools are very important, and like you said, those going through those hardships is what kind of made you more resilient, and you kind of and those tools you'll probably be able to take for the rest of your life as well, and it doesn't have to be just in midwifery. And you're very much an extrovert in the sense of like talking through things. So I guess you've got colleagues that you can kind of rely on and talk to them and be very open with them about specific things.
Yeah, and it's part of my new role at work. That is, as a PMA, that's part of the role, like making sure that people, when they have incidents that are traumatic or births that are traumatic, or and also trauma is different to some people. So some people might find that quite traumatic. I think when I was first qualified and I saw my first neonatal death and delivery, I found that very traumatic. And not that I wouldn't find it traumatic today, but it wouldn't probably feel quite as traumatic as my first ever one, because I was on my own and I wasn't really sure what to do, and the woman was really obviously devastated, and I didn't feel I had the tools mentally to support her in the way she needed, and I was trying my best. Whereas now, not that I wouldn't find it hard and horrendous, I feel like I've just got more experience behind me, so I probably would feel more equipped to deal with it. Whereas then I just felt like I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Am I doing this right? Am I messing this up? Like, am I supporting her? Is she okay? And then I've really felt like, it's always stayed with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, would many people, like, first starting midwifery, but surely midwives, when they see that, everyone must be overwhelmed.
Yeah, 100%.
So I guess why you've had, like, colleagues who are more experienced to come in and give you support.
Yeah, that's why the NHS works, and you need, like, a mixture of skills. You can't just have everyone that's junior, you can't have everyone that's senior, because juniors need support from senior members of staff, and that's how the NHS works. And then as you become more experienced, you support more junior members, and so it's like a training, continuous training. And also junior members of staff will see stuff differently and will bring different stuff to the table, that maybe there's new ways of doing things that more senior members of staff are haven't done.
Yeah, and I guess certain places are more open to change and new ideas.
Yeah.
Well, it's exactly the same in music. You see some bands just like, nah, this is the way we're going to play this, and they're going to be this specific way, and you're like, well, you thought about doing it like this? And I think the bands that progress and the bands that are most successful are the ones that don't hold on to those antiquated ideas of just, we're doing it like this, and then we're just going to do this chart, and I'm just going to go through the motions, and then do this gig, and that'll be it. It's like it makes a big difference if people can look forward and have the kind of self-awareness just to be, we're going to do it differently tonight. We're going to change it up. So what do you think makes why do some hospitals and some places have that kind of like the idea that they could mix it up and not stick to their ideas? Why does that happen?
Why do some hospitals? I mean, no one likes change.
Yeah.
And the NHS are notoriously bad to change. But, the whole NHS is set up that we should be very open to change, because obviously research comes in, we find that something that we were doing is not actually beneficial, even though we were doing it 30 years ago, so we have to change. So obviously and particularly with the introduction of AI and kind of like how much our technology is changing and stuff, we're going to have to change as a whole system. Since I've been gone, we're very behind on this. We've now gone electric completely, so non-paperless. So that's a massive change. So obviously people don't like that. They're like, how are we going to work all these computers? So it just in the NHS, everything's quite a slow process to change, because it's a massive organisation. We don't have that much money, and actually getting people on board to get the change takes a bit of time. But normally people tend to hate it to begin with, and then slowly kind of see the benefits, and then we kind of land at okay, it's all right.
Surely being electronic as well makes it more risky from like a encryption point of view, or being hacked.
Yeah,
from like a data.
Well, that's what happened at one of our local trusts. They got hacked and they couldn't give blood at all in the entire hospital. So none of their patients could get blood because they'd been hacked, because they couldn't safely give blood to any patients.
So because it could have been altered. Why would they not give it?
Because they couldn't be 100% guaranteed that the blood they were giving was the blood type of the patients, because they got cyber hacked. So with all their patients got sent to us.
That's terrifying.
So now we're completely electronic. What if we're all electronic
and
we
get cyber hacked,
and then we can't go, think you're very positive, let's just give you this. We have to be 100%, otherwise we kill them.
Jesus, yeah.
So yeah,
I can't imagine, as you said, it's a bit antiquated. I can't imagine the encryption or the support is fully up yet. And also that's the thing with like quantum computing and AI.
They're going to be at the one step of the game.
Well, yeah, it's just going to be the race. It's like who's going to get to quantum computing first, and who's going to be able to do it as quickly as possible. And it's like that's basically just going to be a race. And then surely like encryption doesn't really matter anymore.
It's more like the hacking, the cyber hacking.
Well, also like money. Like, that's just numbers in your bank, isn't it? And if someone can just like bypass that immediately within a split second.
Yeah, and then they could do some real damage.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Could basically just like change what countries have.
Well, I think the thing is they do have things in place that if that happens, that we're meant to go back to the old way of doing things.
Well, also people move. I think a lot of people in America as well are moving stuff to Bitcoin. I know that Trump is at the moment. He's kind of moving a lot of reserves to Bitcoin, which is mental when you think about it.
Isn't he like, I don't know, I mean, like he's like changing stuff to suit him. Anyway, I don't really want to talk about politics. That's all. When you didn't ask me what I don't want to talk about.
Yeah, you didn't say politics, did you?
No, you didn't ask me.
I did. I asked you, and you said, "Oh, I don't know, sex."
No, you didn't ask me.
I did ask you.
You didn't.
I said I always ask when we were out for a walk. I said I always ask what do people not want to talk about, and you said sex.
When we were out for a walk, I thought you were going to ask on the pod.
No, you asked before. Because then if you ask on the pod, they would have then said what they don't want to talk about. They'd be like, my dad's parent.
I was wondering. I didn't realise.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I thought you were going to ask me on the podcast.
No, because then we probably would end up talking about what you don't want to talk about.
Yeah, okay, fine. I get it now.
So what do you not want to talk about? Politics.
I'm sleep deprived. It's your mother here.
Donald Trump. That's what I don't want to talk about.
I don't want to talk about Donald Trump, no.
Right. So you said sex life. That's what you don't want to talk about. But now we're going to talk about it because you've said it on the podcast.
No, we're not.
We kind of talked about it at the beginning anyway. OnlyFans. I know, starting up our channel. So you've got tools from NHS. Do you think you use those tools in your normal life as well? When things get stressful in your kind of day-to-day stuff, do you think you've taken skills, like transferable skills from that into your normal life?
No, because what you like to tell me all the time is when I'm not at work is you're not the boss of me. So
that doesn't sound like me. No, I think you find it hard to take off the hat of like boss mode sometimes when you come home.
It's hard though, being a mother of now 3 boys.
3 lads. Yeah, that's another thing actually did say we would talk about is mothering and fathering and being paternal to lads, to boys.
Yeah.
It's something that's quite fascinating.
Yeah, I mean...
you get lots of comments about being
a parent to boys.
A parent to 3 lads. Oh, 3 boys. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're absolutely gorgeous and amazing and like, yes, maybe particularly sensitive in certain ways and they've got lots of energy, but I think we're trying to parent them in a different way. We're trying to parent them in a way of emotionally regulating and not just thinking, oh, they're a boy, just send them to the park, kick around a football.
Yeah. Even though they do need that sometimes.
Yeah.
We're trying to be...
The girls need that as well.
Yeah. No, we're trying to be a bit more... I guess it's kind of like what our parents weren't necessarily very good at, of like letting you feel every emotion. Every emotion is okay to feel. And like kind of naming those emotions a lot more. And I think boys need that as well as girls. Whereas I think notoriously people are very good at like, you can feel sad and you can feel angry and you can feel happy. Whereas with boys, it's like the main emotion was like you're either happy or angry. Whereas they have lots of arrays of emotions.
Well, definitely are boys and different ones at the same time.
And also anger is a secondary emotion. So actually you're normally angry because something's happened to make you angry. And the first emotion might have been sadness and then it goes to anger.
Right.
Or like I get angry because I haven't had my needs met. Like I'm hangry or thirsty or...
I thought we were going to talk about sex life.
Hangry.
No, your needs met. Yeah.
So what do you think is the best thing about being a parent? What's been the best and the highs and the lows for you?
I was just going to say, I've only feel like I fully feel like I feel my emotions and know how to regulate them in my 30s, I would say. Probably even like from 30, since having kids, I'd say. I've only really learned that, I would say, as a 30-year-old or maybe like 34-year-old.
So normally, well, I think, yeah.
Normally I would just be like trying to fix, and I still do that now, trying to fix something that's wrong. And I think I definitely had to learn that and just be like, no, if I'm feeling this feeling, just like notice it and realize that it's not like fully you. It's just a part of you and it will pass. And just like, I guess that's mindfulness, isn't it? Like seeing it and just being like, look, this is just a feeling. It's not you. And if you feel like this at the moment, don't try and fix it. Because normally I go for a run or do a workout or cold plunge or something to try and be like, no, I need to feel right all the time. And I think it's been quite nice seeing that in the boys and just allowing them to feel those feelings. You said, what's the best thing about parenting that I've found? Is that what you asked me?
I think I said best and worst.
Well, I think the worst of all parenting is how they make you feel. And I think that is, for me, like those triggering points. So they bring out that side of you and you're like, why is this on my mind? Why is this like really pushing my...
It really gets under your skin.
Yeah, and you're like,
really
why is that really annoying me?
Yeah.
Maybe because it was a memory of something happened to you. Like you said, it's a secondary emotion. That something is triggering some weird memory that's coming up, being like, and then you start to get flashbacks. But I say the most positive thing has been how they just like, it's like a huge magnifying glass to you and your upbringing. And I said, ever since they've been here, like it's just made me feel like I want to be a better man, I want to be a better person, I want to be a better, like every day I want to be the best for them. And I think that's the most beautiful thing I found about being a dad. And like it's just been a big magnifying glass to my life and my childhood and, you know, my parents and how I felt as a kid. And that's definitely the most beautiful thing because I feel like I've developed from that, just seeing them and seeing them where they are. What about you?
What is the highs and lows?
Yeah, we'll go with maybe do it the way around. I did it. So the worst things. Well, the most challenging things are the worst things.
I guess, yeah, it's like dealing with, I think it's, for me, it's like the load, what do they call it? The mother load, the maternal load, the like, I've got to think about what everyone's eating. I've got to make sure the house is not a mess. I've got to make sure everyone has clean clothes. I've got to think about what the boys are having for their school lunches. I've got to think about the school trips. I've got to think about Ezra's nap, Ezra's food, Ezra's nappy, this. I've got to also think about work. I've also got to think about this. I've got to think about that. And then on top of that, you have the meltdowns, the emotional dysregulation, the crying baby. And it's just like my brain just gets, I can't deal with all of this. This is really, really hard. And then some part of that has to piece like a little bit of me in. So I get something.
Yeah, you have to be happy during those times.
Yeah, I have to have something for me as well. And like fitting it all in, I find like it's so hard. And
well,
so
you've been very good at doing your workouts every day.
Yeah, I think that's helped. Giving me like, even if it's like a little bit, even if it's just like 10 minutes of like workout and breath, like breathing, like that's just something that I've done for me in that day.
Which is hard to do. You're like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And
I very much was like, when I first became a mum, I really, really was like, no, I can't possibly do 10 minutes because the food isn't in this and that house is a mess. And I'm trying to just be like, 10 minutes is 10 minutes. Like the other stuff is still going to be there, but you having this 10 minutes for yourself is going to make you feel way better doing those stuff. And also I think I'm better at saying to you like, wait, mate, do this. Yeah. Like, you can't just be slacking. Like, I'm working too. You need to be doing this as well. Like, this is a team effort. We decided to have these kids together. Doesn't mean that I then have to do all the housework and all the chores and all this kind of thing. Yeah.
And I think, my job is a bit more flexible as well at the moment. So it means I can be here a lot more differently during the week. Yeah.
And I don't want to raise sons that are like, it's fine, my wife does it. Or my husband does it. Like, do you know what I mean?
That was your northern accent there, displaying it.
Northern?
My wife. You went my wife.
My wife.
God, then, okay, that's the harder stuff. Finding stuff for yourself, finding time for yourself and the mother load. And how about the most exciting and
how the love I feel for them. I don't think I've ever... I remember my mum talking about it, like how much she just loved us. And I remember like as a teenager being like, oh, he's so weird. Like, it's so weird.
Lame.
Love me. And then now I'm just like, oh my God, it's like this, like you just look at them.
Teenagers,
you want to kiss their faces and just throw this like love you feel for them. It's just mental that I didn't even know. And then I feel really bad because like the rejection when your kids must reject you and you feel that love. And I used to do that to my parents all the time. it's like, oh man, that's going to really hurt because of how I feel. But obviously you know that's part of like raising a child is raising a child to a point where they are secure enough to reject you, and that is when you know you've done a good job.
Yeah, if a kid's scared and quiet around you
and doesn't want to
like,
go off and leave the home, then actually you know you haven't completed your mission. That's the mission that you're on as a parent, or the role you have as a parent. But it is going to be hard when
I send you those memes where it's like, when your kid is like a nutter around you, it means that you've created a safe environment.
Ruben's already told me that he wants a new mum, so I'm like, great, thanks, Ruben.
Oh, he doesn't mean it. He loves you. It hurts when they say those things. Though.
I'm like, it's fine, you can get a new mum, go to the mum shop.
They definitely go through daddy and mummy stages, though.
Yeah.
Samson's always been more... But then actually having another child with Ezra has meant that Samson and mine relationship has developed.
Yeah.
Means definitely. That it's more space. I think that often happens, right? Definitely happen with our friends.
Yeah, more space with... Well, the dads have to take more of a role with the older ones because the mum's with the baby, so...
Yeah.
You need to. And they need you to because you're up all night looking after a baby and doing lots of baby stuff. So dads need to kind of take over a lot of the older stuff, roles.
Yeah, and how are you feeling about going back to work and juggling being a mum and...
You know how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I know. But...
I don't know, just a bit. It's going to be a bit mental. When I actually put all my shifts in and looked at your gigs and then looked at September and the boys came back to school and Ezra starting nursery, I was a bit like, this is going to be awful.
I was talking about this with my mum yesterday. Like back in the day, it would always just be dad's at work, 9 to 5, probably more, like every single day of the week.
Yeah.
Like that's such like that was the way it was for years.
Yeah.
And mum was at home. Yeah, it still is. But I feel...
But now it's like both parents trying to juggle work.
Mental.
Yeah, it's mental.
But then it seems easier on the forefront, but then that, I don't know, I can't feel like either the dad obviously must come home and just be like, who the fuck are these kids? Like, I don't really know them.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like they wouldn't really have much power there. Or exactly, and likewise in the other way, the mum wouldn't have that much to kind of like talk about apart from the kids, and would feel just a bit like overwhelmed, and maybe that her life was just that.
Yeah.
So they both need a bit of the other one. Yeah,
definitely.
I guess COVID, from that sense, from the work from home, has been really positive from that. I've got lots of friends.
For parents, yeah, massively.
Who I had to go, I was talking to actually Mike on the podcast, and he was saying he would have had to go in something like 9 till 6 every day.
Yeah, that's mental.
And like, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
But now I think he goes in once or twice a week, if that. And lives all the way in Kent, so it's not exactly a short, it's still like an hour in, hour out.
Yeah, I mean, being working from home or flexible working for people has been a game changer.
Can't we do midwifery from home? Be like, can we just do it remotely?
Some elements of it you can, but no, generally no.
It's very hands-on.
It's very hands-on.
Like saxophone, you can't really do that either.
Yeah.
Can I just do a gig from my front room?
Can't really be replaced by AI though.
Who?
I can't.
Yeah, I don't think saxophone can live.
Live, no.
Definitely not. Have a robot doing it. Fucking boring. Yeah. Let me play your tune. Diddly-did. Sweet Caroline. Wouldn't really work, would it?
No.
It would be a bit weird. Well, they were. I remember when I was at uni, they were talking about taking electrodes and reading people's minds and doing music from that. I wonder if that's developed.
Probably.
But it'd be a bit weird still again watching it, because there'd just be someone sitting there going, not actually playing, but just taking the electrodes from the mind. So that's weird to watch.
That is weird to watch.
Do you want to see someone jamming out?
But doesn't they do ABBA or like they have holograms of ABBA, don't they?
Yeah, Adam's in that.
Is he?
Yeah. Adam Bourne, shout out Adam Bourne and Chloe. They're going to be on the podcast soon. But yeah, he does ABBA Voyage. Which is like got massive, like, they've got like an arena thing, haven't they, where they go.
Yeah, it's meant to be really good.
Yeah, it's cool. If you ever want to go. Cheap tickets.
You hope.
Yeah, so those are the challenges of the joys and the difficulties of being a parent in this modern world.
Yeah, the juggle, the constant juggle.
The juggling act.
Yeah. I'm not quite feeling you're getting it either right.
What do you mean? What, how much, too much work, the balance?
Yeah.
Work-life balance.
With the kids and work, yeah. So you kind of feel like you're constantly...
I feel like this is the best our balance has been, though.
Yeah, but I'm not at work.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like even when you were at work, like being down in Worthing's definitely made a change.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're better at just giving each other that space to go and do stuff.
Yeah.
And you go and see friends, and I feel like we've got more friends down here, which makes a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. But I do think it's all gonna.
Yeah, I think it is easier because of that right now.
Yeah.
But we've got to be in the here and now.
Yeah.
And just enjoy it.
I know I'm trying to enjoy it, hence why I'm like.
And I do think there's definitely something to be said for like in inner city living, and like especially cities where there's lots of chasing money. Like I think down in like Worthing or surrounding areas or places that are away from that, it's easier to make friends because it's like there's not this kind of like constant chase of like money, let's work. Oh, it's kind of like general anxiety. I feel like down here people are more relaxed and have that energy. They're more open just to be like, "Oh mate, how are you?"
Or like for instance, like in the evening, it's been really sunny down here. We're in a heat wave, and I just went. The tide was right, and I just met a friend and just went for an evening swim for an hour, and then came home. Like in London, like I feel like everything revolves around a pub. Like, do you want to go for a pub for a drink? Like, there's
Go to
nothing.
the Thames.
Go to the
Thames.
Thames.
Scuba
It's just
dive.
not like that kind of. I don't know. And also everything's so far away. Like you can't.
It's booze and
walk.
work related though.
And yeah, and everything's so far away. You can't just like go and do something that's so close. Well, where we were, it wasn't like everything seemed about be like a half an hour jolly to get somewhere. Like whereas that was a 10-minute walk to the beach.
And we were
have
lucky
a
where
quick
we lived.
swim.
We had like good parks and stuff there, but
Yeah, it's just.
we love the water as well though. That makes a big difference. Being able to just get in the sea.
I just love living by the sea.
Yeah, it's the best. It's also calming. They do studies, right? It's like, I don't know what the statistic was, but something like 30% more relaxed, the people who live there.
Well, we're very lucky because lots of people can't. So.
Yeah, extremely lucky. But I think we kind of did our time in London and got to the point where it's like, nah, we need to get some more space.
Mm-hmm.
More space and more sea air.
Yep. More calmness. Definitely calm. It definitely feels so much calmer.
Yeah, there's not so much noise.
Not so much noise.
Like Mitcham was like, oh my word. Noise! Isn't that supposed to have a big impact on like your cardiovascular health, isn't it?
Or noise.
The noise where you live is supposed to increase the likelihood of having heart attacks.
That's something I noticed though with the birds there. Like they were constantly chirping. In
The
London.
girls or?
The birds.
Oh, right, not the birds.
The birds.
You fucking birds.
They,
Always chirpy.
they chirped all night and all day because of the light pollution. Whereas don't you notice
really
that
sad.
here?
Isn't it the noise as well though? Because they like can't be heard.
Do you think it's that as well as the light pollution?
Because they're trying to mate,
that
aren't
was
they?
one of the first things I noticed. Like the birds literally were chirping all day and night. Whereas here, I didn't hear them.
It must be exhausting for a little birdie.
Yeah,
For their little
I don't
hearts.
think they live very long there.
Oh, brutal. Yeah, it's, I guess because of the noise. Yeah, you're right. They're like, is it night time or? And I guess you see the stars here a lot more as well.
See the stars.
Imagine if a seagull was chirping all night. You'd be like, oh my God, I'm
I
getting
mean,
it.
then we do have some baby seagulls on the roof. They're quite loud.
I'm getting the air
Your
rifle
mum
if
kept
they're
thinking it was
chirping all
Ezra.
night.
She's like, it's an Ezra. And I'm like, no, it's a seagull.
That's hilarious. That says a lot about Ezra's noises. You sound like a seagull, mate.
He does sound a bit like a seagull sometimes.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a seagull, baby seagull, before that.
What?
I always just see them bloody massive, because they all got a different colouring, don't they?
Mm,
I always thought they just came out massive.
no.
I've never seen a
Have
baby
you seen a
one.
baby pigeon?
Sounds weird, no.
No, I haven't either.
Yeah, where do they hide? On roofs?
Yeah, I think so.
Then just
I
pop
don't know,
out.
London somewhere.
Baby
Or
pigeon.
alcoves, probably.
Yeah, so I guess it's better for the health of the bird, isn't it? I remember hearing that in central London. My mum telling me that when I was a kid, like, the birds just cheep and make noise all night.
Mm.
They need their sleep too.
Sorry, I feel very sleepy all of a sudden.
You do?
Mm.
What, talking about birds sleeping?
Sat down.
Well, you
I
are a
sat
bird.
down. Sat down and Ezra woke me up lots of times in the night and was up at 5. You must be tired, no? You're
Who? Yeah.
Second wind.
I don't know. I like chatting on the podcast. It's nice. There's a lot of people in podcasts in America say like it's good to start a podcast with your wife because it's nice just to have a time. Just to when do you have that time? Just to be like, sit down and actually talk to each other. Sit across from each other without any like technology and be like, hello.
How are you?
How are you? What do you think about our kids? Little wankers. That's what you think.
I think that.
We all think that. We all think that a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, they can be.
It can be. But it can be the most beautiful things in the world. What do you want to wrap this up then?
I'm tired.
Okay. Peace out, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. Bye.